It looks like Charlie Mulgrew and now Dermot Gallagher are going to be the latest additions to the Fog football brand. They must be becoming new members because on Ref Watch, the former Irish referee agreed with us that Celtic's first goal was rightfully disallowed. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Welcome back to Fog Football. Welcome back to the place that tells the truth, despite people no liking it. I said that when I watched it, it was 50-50 whether or not the Trusty foul should have been given and whether Maida's goal should have been cancelled. The more I watched it, I'll be honest, the more I thought the right decision was made. Then former Celtic man Charlie Mulgrew came out. He agreed with the decision, and now Dermot Gallagher has come out and he has also agreed with the decision. So some people tell the truth, some people are just delusional.
Yeah, some people lie, some people are too bitter, some people are wearing tinted specs. But you know what? Every decision over the weekend, Big Dermot, he's agreed with us.
Small Matthew liar.
Aye, small Matthew liar, that's it, of course. The Rangers are coming, you know the score. Philip Clement, the battle fever is here, but here, right?
No, but people, the Celtic fans I've seen comment were making it as if this was like the worst decision ever. 100% never a foul. It could have easily went either way when you first see it.
Yeah.
And now you've got people coming out. Former Celtic defender Charlie Mulgrew, he's a defender. I think he'd know more about that. He's a former Celtic man. If he's going to show bias, it's going to be towards his old club.
See, if we're being honest, I think some of the only truly awful decisions this season have taken place in that St Mirren Kelly game. I think some of them against... I mean, the Kelly guy getting absolutely booted by... Was it Sean Rooney?
Yeah, but you know what?
Was it Sean Rooney?
It was Sean Rooney.
He was doing that outside Blue Lagoon.
Maybe Sean Rooney's got some anger issues. But you know what? I remember during that Celtic Hearts game, everyone that was screaming that the Celtic penalty was definitely a penalty, but the Hearts one was never a penalty. They were all lying their hat on Dermot Gallagher. Well, wait to see what Dermot Gallagher says on Ref Watch. Well, he's had to say on what happened this week, and he says that it shouldn't have counted. And guess what? It didn't. So the referee got the decision right. But we're going to start with the big talking point for Sunday. That, of course, is the John Souttar handball, which did lead to the Rangers conceding of a penalty. Clement wasn't happy about this. Clement said, quote, "It was discussed before this season not to give easy penalties for short distance in those moments. So for me, it's not a penalty." End of quote. However, Dermot Gallagher disagrees with this. He thinks the correct decision was a penalty. And Gallagher said the following, quote, "He cannot put his elbow against his body. When you turn yourself and you go with your leg up, you cannot put your arm somewhere inside your body. So he makes himself smaller to not be coming in like that. The ball was going directly towards the goal and his arm is outstretched. He's blocked a shot at goal. The keeper is there, so it's not a red card, but it is a handball and a penalty." End of quote. I don't think there can be any complaints there.
No,
I think
that's exactly what we said. It's a penalty. He moved his arm slightly towards it. It's not a red. I think anyone with a brain can see this. The people greeting about it should have been a red. Look at it. It's not a red.
Could have been a yellow. It's the only thing.
I mean, it could have been a yellow. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that, but it's one of those ones where they don't really tend to give it. I feel like with handballs, you either get nothing or a red.
But let's be honest, Clement, if this is up the other end, Clement's screaming for this.
Yo, I get Clement's point of view, right, because it's very close range, but at the end, I think if Clement rewatches it and realises that Souttar has moved his arm, I mean, he was very focal in the presser. I think Clement's beginning to lose the plot, I'll be honest.
See if this is out wide and it's a cross into the box, I don't think this is giving a penalty.
Tipson's 1999.
But because it is, I mean, it's a direct shot at goal that Souttar's blocking with his arm.
Yeah.
It's a penalty, man. It's as simple as that.
That's a penalty, Kenny.
That's a penalty, man. Right, Dan Casey's red card for handball and the St Mirren penalty. Dermot Gallagher says, quote, "He denies a goal. That's the difference. There's no goalkeeper there this time. It's going to go in the net. So that's the difference." End of quote. So Dan Casey did see red for his handball. That people were questioning why he got a red. John Souttar did not. Basically, it's because Jack Butland was there and likely would have saved it. Whereas when Dan Casey handballed it, there was nobody saving it. It was going to be a goal.
Yeah, like, no, but how can no one see that? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's ridiculous.
The only thing I would sympathise with Hibs is they missed their penalty, but I mean
that's irrelevant. You know what I mean? That is that doesn't matter.
No, I get what you're saying, but you know, it's almost like They didn't get nothing, but they did. It's not their fault.
He paid for his crime.
Hibs midfielder Necatarios Triantes booked for the foul on Robin Proper. Should it have been a red? Dermot Gallagher says, quote, I think it's a yellow card. He gets the ball, but it's the force and intensity that he's yellow carded for. But he doesn't go over the top of the ball or lands with his studs on the shin. End of quote. I actually don't agree with Dermot Gallagher here. That's because I actually thought it was a good tackle. And I miss tackles like this being in the game. For me, I view that as a good challenge.
No, it's funny though, right? People say, oh, blue tinted specs bias. Here I am saying that Rangers rightfully got a penalty against them, and this shouldn't even have been a booking. No. See, people with blue tinted specs, they say this should have been a red, and they say it should never have been a penalty. See these comments? Half of them are troll
comments.
People
in the rabble were like, oh, that was a red.
It was never a red. Football's dead if you want this to be a red. You know what, right? See the yellow? Am I going to completely throw the toys at the pram because it should never be a yellow, right? Did I want it to be a red? Yeah, because see if it was a red, it would have made the game easier. But is it a red? No, there's a difference.
Who was that Mollywell player that they were screaming for a red on at the end of last season?
I was at the game. That was never a red.
That was awful, that.
Never a red.
Anyway, remember Sterling got sent off and there was nothing really in that either.
Yeah, that was pathetic against Aberdeen.
People need to just, wind your neck in, man. And
and not everything Dermot Gallagher says is gospel, by the way, but...
No, but I kind of agree with him so far, apart from the fact that...
But I feel like in 2024, that tackle on Proper is a yellow. It's not a yellow for me.
No, by the rules, it's probably a yellow, and by the standard of refereeing that were in the day, it's a yellow, but for me, I wish it wasn't a yellow.
Like, a guy's won the ball, right? He's not hit him knee high. He's not done anything of the kind. To want a red for this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Dyson Myra, disallowed goal after VAR intervention for Celtic versus St Johnstone for foul by Austin Trusty on Graham Carey. Dermot Gallagher said, quote, it's a brilliant spot by the VAR because when I saw the clip, I thought, why is he on the floor? But he caught him on the way through, and the goal was disallowed correctly. But whether it's a red card, I'm not sure. End of quote. So, Dermot Gallagher there's no doubt in his mind it's a foul. He thinks it's a great spot by VAR. He's applauding VAR for spotting this. The thing that he's debating is whether it should be a red card. Now, you can clearly see that Trusty, he does... Just like people want to say John Souttar moved his arm towards the ball, which I think he did a little bit, you can easily see that Trusty moved his arm towards the face of the St Johnstone defender.
Yeah, for me, I think he's moved his arm to block him. He's not moved his arm to wipe him out. I think there's a difference. He's tried... I know that might sound similar, but I don't think there's intent here to wipe out the St Johnstone guy.
Yeah, but he clearly moves his arm, so therefore it's not just a random coming together.
But that's intriguing. I've heard people have said it's rightfully disallowed, but I've not heard a mention so far of a red. For me, it's not a red.
Well, no, but Dermot Gallagher says
it could be a red.
Quote, whether it's a red card, I'm not sure. End of quote. He's not saying it was rightfully disallowed, but it wasn't a red card. He's saying he's not sure whether it's a red card. So if what I think that tells me is he's not sure how to interpret the elbow essentially from Trusty. I think he's saying if it's intentional, it's a red.
We'll put it this way, right?
It's not.
If there's a debate for a red,
then it's a foul. 100%.
Yeah, the goal has to be disallowed.
But here, I guess Dermot Gallagher is a secret Rangers fan, and he's probably got a Rangers YouTube channel as well, and he's biased against the champions and all that shit. Charlie Mulgrew, I remember he got 500 caps for Rangers as well, and he's on a Rangers channel, and he's not partial, and he's biased as well.
Dermot Gallagher, he bleeds red, white and blue.
He does, aye. Definitely.
Not that other flag.
No, definitely not. Right, any thoughts on that before we move on?
I mean, I don't think it's a red, but could you imagine me giving it a red? Yo, I tell you what, right? What's more of a red, the Trusty incident or the Triantis? Absolutely the Trusty one for me. But I don't think it's I think the Triantis one, I mean, he's won the ball. At least with Trusty, it's like, well, you know what? He's used his elbow to block the guy.
But people can't see that. People are like, oh, we've been robbed. 100% that should have been a goal.
And that's me saying that the guy against Rangers shouldn't be sent off. So how about those apples?
What planet are you living on, man? To say that 100% should be a goal, are you not even acknowledging that Trusty brings his arm up and he pushes it, throws it in the direction? of the St Johnstone player. Unbelievable stuff here. Anyway, Dundee penalty for foul by Aberdeen's Gavin Molly on Simon Murray. Dermot Gallagher says, quote, he gets the wrong side of the defender, and by getting the wrong side, it's very difficult for him to get the ball. End of quote. I mean, I think that's him basically saying, yeah, he agrees.
Yeah, it was a penalty. There's no much to say
So
here.
it's not really a lot there to add. Motherwell penalty after Dan Casey fouled by Marcus Fraser. Dermot Gallagher says, quote, this is a really interesting decision because it's not clear, but if you watch the player who he gives it against, he's got his back to the ball. He doesn't even look at the ball, know where it is, and only concentrates on the player. He hasn't gone to play the ball. He gets a hold of his man. End of quote. So, do you agree with that one? I personally never. I don't think I've seen that one. The Motherwell penalty after Dan Casey fouled by Marcus
I think this one's a wee bit more up for debate, but I don't think you can really complain.
Alrighty, and then the Lennon Miller goal given after VAR review for potential handball. Dermot Gallagher says, quote, the ball comes off his arm, but it's how high it is. The referee thinks it's high enough to be in the green zone. End of quote.
This is a weird one, but it is high. It's not, it's like shirt level, and I think, well, the rule is if it's shirt level, then it's alright. At the end of the day.
Well, it depends what colour the shirt is.
No, it does. No, but we can sit here and debate handballs all day, but look last year, man. Alistair Johnston against Kelly. He did not intend it, right? It wasn't intentional, but literally handballed it off the line.
With no keeper behind him. Nothing given.
And I'm a fair guy. Should it have been a penalty and a red?
Aye,
no,
absolutely.
I don't think it should have been a red.
I think it should have been. Denies a clear goal scoring up. That's a goal. If he's not there, that's a goal.
Yeah, but that's double jeopardy then. You know what I mean?
Fuck it, I'd give it anyway.
But it's funny how there's outrage. See if you're a Celtic fan and you think Souttar should have been sent off and a penalty, but you think that one last year was fine. No, I'm a firm believer, right? Intentional or not, I think if you handball, if the ball hits your hand and it prevents a goal, it should be a penalty. And if it's an intentional, red as well. But anyway, we're just two fudge talking about football, aren't we? Two liars. The Rangers are coming, and the Hearts are sinking.
Although some people would say the Alistair Johnston one, it was a supporting arm. What would you say to that?
The supporting arm. No, that's a load of pish. The support. No, come on. What about Thierry Henry? Was it his supporting arm when he fucking robbed Ireland out of the World Cup?
Well, his arm got the assist, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it. Dermot Gallagher, what a guy. Tells the truth every week. You got to love it.
Aye, you've got to love it. What about Maradona? Was it his supporting arm when he pumped England in the World Cup? Yes. Come on. No. See, the best way to look at these incidents, man, it's to what was happening to your team.
Well, fuck, we know what would be happening. Like,
that is the only fair way of doing it. It's like, see that Alistair Johnston one. See if that's James Tavernier, right? And Danny Armstrong's bent it in, and it's hit off his hand, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be a penalty, right? See the Triantis tackle that I thought should need to be a booking or a foul. See if Diamonde or Barron does that. I'm like, how's that a free kick? Because I'm fair. There's just people out there that they'll pretend that everything's against their team, and
unless you like the arse of one team 100% and you say that every decision that goes against them is wrong and every decision that they get for them is right, then you're going to be accused of being biased, because some people are just incapable of. I really do laugh, man, people saying that we're biased when they're like, 100% Celtic robbed yesterday, never a foul.
I had a Hibs fan yesterday saying that Souttar shouldn't have been sent off. You know what I mean? So that's some fair shit.
Well, I mean, you do get some fair fans, but unfortunately there's not many of them, so it is what it is. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Dermot Gallagher, what a guy.
What a guy. What a beautiful baldy man.